This is exciting. I thank you for asking me to do this. So, I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
and I definitely appreciate you taking the phone call because it's important. We're going to talk about self-love today, and
Yes.
a lot of people don't really talk about it. They probably do it by themselves, but not out publicly. Like,
And just to be able to, share this with everybody, and I hope that listen, if it touches even one person, I think our job is done. Hopefully it touches many, but if it touches even one person.
yeah, it will for sure. We want to talk about four different sides of self-love because it's good sides. And there's some sides that's people don't really want to want to share because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I want you to introduce yourself and tell people what you do.
Yeah. So, Bianca Baptiste. I am a certified life coach. I've been really coaching for years at this point, probably a decade, but I decided to actually get certified this past year. I'm trying to grow and learn my business to be able to just help somebody else. I do have a 9 to 5. I won't tell you what institution I work for because if I do that, my phone will start ringing and people will start asking me for refunds and all this other stuff and complaining. So we're not doing that. But yeah, I have a passion of just really giving back to the community and just helping others. I was in a place, a really, really, really dark place, and I had a good support system. But what happens when you don't have your support system? So I had to learn how to build myself. And really, my goal is to help others do the same thing and really to find their purpose in life. It took me quite some time to finally find my purpose, but I want to be able to help the next person do that.
Why do you think some people probably like abandon their gift?
Hmm, that's a good question. Fear. Speaking from my own experience, fear. It took a while for me to finally get comfortable, even doing something like this, to finally get comfortable enough to say, you know what? I want to step out on faith. Forget about what the next person is saying or what the next person thinks about it. Fear can really hold a lot of people back. Resources as well. Some people assume or think that, I have to have all this money to start, and most people start what? On their phone.
Right,
Take much to start, on their phone. But as long as you have the mindset, that's where it starts first. It starts right here. You can also add to surrounding yourself with positive people.
right,
My mom used to always say growing up, you're going to have different friends for different things. You might have the one friend you can call and you can pray. That's that friend that you can call and pray.
right.
You might have the one friend you can talk about relationships with because they get it. You might have another friend, school, whatever the case may be. But surround yourself with some positive people. If somebody's bringing negative energy, if you feel and you feel it, you feel it.
Yeah,
Don't surround yourself with that person or those types of people if you feel like the energy is off, if you feel like you guys don't have something in common, or sometimes you just outgrow people.
right.
No love loss, but you just outgrow people sometimes. You're in a different units. I don't want to say status because it's not fair for me to say that, but you guys are on two different levels.
And environments, like you can't grow
Yes.
in certain environments, you can't grow in certain environments.
Right.
It's a time in the season for everything. And you got to respect that. The body really keeps the score. It really does. Like it keeps the score, and they'll let you know. So if you're feeling like anxiety, you having these thoughts, it might be your surroundings. It might be the people that you're around. Sometimes it's not a bad thing either. Like it's not like to shame anybody or anything. Sometimes it's just seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, and environments. Like I go through that all the time. That's why I had to do the inner work to really understand like what was going on with that.
It's like you said, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You have your friends or the people in your life in season sometimes. And sometimes that season has passed. Now there's a new season.
Yeah,
But ultimately surrounding yourself with positive people that's going to lift you up when you're down, those people, and then when you're up, those people that sometimes you got to lift up too, and that's still okay.
right.
But if you guys share something something in common where you feel like you can be your true authentic self with those people, that's important.
Absolutely. I know you had a movement a couple years ago called the movement. You want
Yes. I do. It's actually that is actually my registered business. I considering that I'm representing the business, I really want to be known as Coach Bianca, Coach B, but that is still my registered business. And for me, that started actually in 2017, and I sat on it Fast forward 9 years later, making excuses, being afraid, watching other people, and I say, oh my God, like they know how to talk. They know how to, they're captivating on camera. And I felt like that's not me. That's, and fear just kept getting in the way. And then along the way also, I had losses in my family. So my thought process was really shifting on healing. But now I'm in a better space. I'm not 100% there yet, but I'm in a better space where I know that this is something that I can do. This is something that I can accomplish to help other people. And really, the Inner You movement is really more about self-love and what does it take? What are some of the stuff you do? And to be able to grow your own external relationships, you have to be able to love yourself first. And then loving yourself opens doors to so many other things. And that could be your self-respect. That could be confidence. Confidence goes a very long way. Even in my 9 to 5, I was that person. I've been with the company now for 13 years, but I was that person that was sit in the back of the room, not ask any questions. I didn't want to be seen. I'm just, were you at that meeting? I was there. Did you hear it? Yep, I heard all of that. But it took some time for me to grow my confidence because it all had to start here. Now, when I walk into a room, if there's a meeting, no, I'm going to sit in the front. And not necessarily because, oh, I want everybody to see me. No, but if I'm going to be that person that you want to look at as your next bench, the next person in line, what am I going to do differently than my peers? How am I going to show up? How am I going to be dressed? What
Right.
questions am I going to be asking? So really the inner you movement is it starts here and once you love yourself here, all everything else around you is going to change.
Like if you just think, if you have weak thoughts, if you have weak thoughts, you're gonna just be talking crazy. You're not aware of what you're saying, and words is powerful. One thing for me, like self love, is like just really being aware of my thoughts.
Let me first say I love how you mention your thoughts because as I mentioned earlier, it all starts here. So for anybody, whether you're single mother, single dad, single, it doesn't matter. I feel like, take some time in the morning. That's the first step. Your morning is how you start your day. Now, I'm not that person that wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, hitting the gym. Those people out there, I'm like, God, I don't know how y'all do it at 5 o'clock in the morning. But if self-love to me, what you can do really in the morning, start with your meditation or your prayer. Whichever one you believe in, meditation or prayer, there's always something to be thankful for. I'm a big fan of journaling. I wish I had my journal next to me, but when it comes to journaling, you can write down 3 affirmations. And it could be something so simple. I love myself. I am beautiful. It can be something so simple. And don't just write it, say it and mean it.
Right? It matters.
Yes, say it and mean it. Like I write my affirmations and I look at myself and I tell myself that over and over.
Yeah,
I love me. And if that means hold yourself and tell yourself, you got this.
yeah.
Got
It
this.
really does matter.
It does.
Like like accumulation. Like sometimes I talk about like the art of accumulation.
Mhm.
Over time, you like we're accumulating things over time, whether we pay attention to it or not.
One of the things that I did want to make sure that I mention, because I don't have children myself, but I do have family members, friends that do have children. They get caught up into the life of motherhood. And their life becomes just their children. And I just want to remind you all that, especially during the burnout season, which is probably a lot of the times, with the exception of when your kids are sleeping, they look like babies, they look like angels, and you're like, oh gosh, I wouldn't trade this for anything. And I know you wouldn't trade it for anything, but don't lose yourself in the process. If that means on a Saturday morning while they're at karate, take yourself to get your nails done. Go to a spa. Go see a movie during the week while they're at school. Take an hour, take yourself out to lunch. It's the simple things that you can do. I'm not saying, hey, disappear on your kids and take a week vacation. Although a week vacation would be great, as long as you have the resources, the sitter, everybody. But on a daily basis, do something for yourself. One of the tips that I like to do whenever it's somebody's birthday, they invite me to a birthday dinner, my close friends, family, and I bring a gift. I'm always bringing a gift that you cannot spend on your children because I don't want you to forget about you. So if that means that it's a bottle of wine, a gift card to a spa, I stopped doing Amazon gift cards, Target gift. I stopped doing that because if I did that, I knew they would just spend it on their kids. And I said, no, I want you to remember who you are too, before and after you became a mom, because you're still that person.
I see a lot of women saying like they overstimulated,
Mhm.
like that had children, and like I wanted to talk about it, but I have to ask women. I have to ask women from their point of view.
Burnout is especially it's real regardless whether you're married raising kids or whether you're single. It's just more difficult when you are single. But in the midst of all of that, just don't forget about who you are. Don't forget about I'm going to say especially as women because I can only speak from women experience based off of people that I know personally. You tend to what is the word I'm looking for? You tend to make a lot of sacrifices and
Right.
you're making sacrifices for everybody else around you, but you're not making a sacrifice for yourself.
Let me ask you this: like, it's women who don't have the funds. What do they do?
Even that, when you're home, when I spend time at home, my house is my sanctuary. That's my space. Let that still be your space. I talked about journaling. You talked about reading books. Something as simple as that. When I was going through depression, my therapist recommended me. She said, "You don't have to go out and spend money. Walk around your neighborhood. Just walk.
Yeah,
Breathe in the air.
mm,
Little things that we take for granted, really. It's the little thing we take for granted, but they're really big things to be thankful for."
seriously. The guy who made the book A New Earth, he was talking about that.
Mm.
How like he stopped putting titles on things, and like when he go out in nature, he just observe. Like he don't really put a title on anything, and he was just speaking how it kind of changes the way you see everything. Like you appreciate it more.
Yes.
It's you giving everything a title, and just observe and really appreciate.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about getting caught up. I feel like that's what it is too. Just getting caught up in trends and keeping up with the Joneses and this and that. Like you got to really tap into yourself,
Yes.
learn yourself, learn what you like to do. Not the word. You have to quiet that down.
Yes. Yes. One of the things that I learned about myself, this is throughout my journey. I took my first solo trip in 2017 and it was forced. Let me say that. I was in a relationship. We planned it together for my birthday. Things went left and my decision was I had to decide to either cry about it in East Orange, New Jersey, or cry about it in the Dominican Republic by the beach. So, of course, I said, you know what? No, I'm still going to go on this trip. And it was the best decision I could have made for myself because I said, wow, this was the first time actually traveling alone. And granted, I was going through a heartbreak. It still made me look at the bigger picture of life. I cannot sit and be under someone's clutch all day. What's going to happen if things go left? How am I going to pick myself up? And it was during that time, during that vacation where I said, I want to do something. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what God is planting on me, but I knew I wanted to do something at that moment.
Sometimes when you get caught up in other people's energy,
Mm.
it becomes about what they're doing. You should be able to go on trips by yourself. You don't have, just because like you're in a relationship, you don't always have to go with.
Right.
Nothing
As
wrong.
long as it's nothing wrong with that, as long as it's pure intentions. And that's something that you did prior to your relationship. If that's who you are and you did that prior to your relationship, as long as there's communication with it, and the intentions are pure, because that's you don't want to lose yourself. You don't want to lose yourself. For me, during a relationship, I just ended an engagement. And hardest thing that, yeah, believe me, hardest thing I saw the way your face turned. It's difficult. It's very difficult. And it was a process for me, because now I feel like I'm starting all over again, but I'm not. Now I'm starting from experience because hey, I've been single before. I know what this feels like. I know that there's moments where I'm gonna cry, but then guess what? There's other moments where I step outside and I'm just like, you got this. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you don't want to lose yourself. Do those things that you enjoy doing. If that means going to the park by yourself, if that means um going out to eat by yourself. I talk about food a lot because I bring my stomach everywhere I go. which is horrible. But I enjoy going out to eat. I enjoy going to a movie, and I inspire other people to do the same thing.
Talk about ego a little bit.
There's a big difference between having confidence and
Right.
being cocky. So when you allow your ego to get the best of you, and I'm a believer. So when I say I'm a believer, good things, God is always going to bless you when you're doing good things. He's going to bless you regardless. But then there's moments in your life where he's going to have to punish you too. When you walk around with a big ego and you feel like you're better than the next person, or you feel like um just being very egocentric, where you feel like the life everybody's life has to stop because you walked in the building. Life doesn't work like that. It doesn't. So when you walk into a room, having confidence means, you know what? You can do this. Sit in the front row, front row. You can do this. Having a big ego means I'm better than everybody else in here. No, the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday, not anybody else around you.
Yeah, true.
You got to remind yourself that you're not in competition with anybody but the person you were yesterday. My competition is me because
Right.
there's room for everybody to go.
Right.
If I grow and make it to the top, I want everybody to come with me.
I feel like ego sometimes block blessings.
I posted something, it could have been maybe about a week or two ago, and I didn't specifically say ego, but I said, be careful when you're having a one-sided conversation. And what I mean by that is, I was recently, so at my place of employment, my 9 to 5, I took the time to introduce myself to my entire team. I did one-on-ones with everybody because I wanted to get to know my team. These are my peers. These are the people I'm going to be working with. One particular individual, I felt like it was a one-sided conversation because that individual was just talking about themselves the entire time. And it wasn't until maybe about 3 minutes prior to our conversation ending that person said to me, "Oh, I didn't even ask about you." And I'm thinking, you spent 27 minutes. Now you want to ask about me?
Yeah.
So I say that to say when if you feel like you're having those conversations one-sided where that person is just talking all about them, that's where I say their ego lies. So you don't want to be that person. And imagine now I'm at a point where, okay, I know who I don't want to communicate with unless I really need that person. So don't be that person to just be very egocentric. Don't let the conversations just be about you, 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 you.
I
Yeah.
want more aware of their ego,
Yep.
you know, because you could trick yourself out of a position, a job, an opportunity, a room that you might need to be in because of your ego. Sometimes put your ego in check, put your family in like a lot of people is not here. Like a lot of people is dead because of their ego.
It's important to really humble yourself because when you get to sometimes when you get to a certain stage in life, you start to see people and they feel like they're superior just because they're making a certain amount of money, just because I don't know, they bought a house. They feel like they're better than the next person. But I always say humble yourself because the same way that you're talking, God can take that gift from you to humble you for you if you don't humble yourself for yourself first. That's a
Right.
bar. That's a bar. So you don't want to be in that kind of position where before you decide, let me humble myself, God does it for you.
I want to talk about trial and error, like the importance of like trial and error. Trial and error is good because it's information.
Right.
So like if like sometimes you might be in a dark moment, something might be going on. It's just a part of like the overall process. Trial and error is good. It has information. It has,
Yeah.
like that's I start looking at life moments. I start looking at it as data of what's going on. Now I'm able to identify. All right, well, every time I do this, this happens, right?
Right.
So it's like if you having like trial and error moments, don't get down on yourself, and it's good. It's actually a good thing because you learn from your lessons.
Yeah. And Aaliyah's song is just came to mind. If at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
Right.
And
Yeah.
trial and error, it's important. Now, It's important, trial and error, to at least attempt to do something and you learn from it. You learn from your experience, whether good or bad. You learn from your experiences. Now, the only time I would say pivot your trial and error is if you try something out and you're getting the same results and you're looking for different results, what are you going to do differently? How are you going to adjust your trial and error? Because you don't want it to be trial in the same error that's coming up over and over and over. What are you going to do differently this time?
What I was gonna say. What about people that had like financially, they're good, they're rich, right? But their habits is poor.
Definitely a deeper route there. Now, the first question that I like to ask my my coachees are, what are you looking to accomplish? That's my first question. Because you might have all the money in the world, but you're not happy here.
Right.
Okay, if you're looking to accomplish, let's say, gaining confidence in how I look physically. Okay, so what is it about yourself that that you want to change? Well, I want to change the way my hair is. I want to change my weight. So what are you gonna do? I'm your coach, so I'm just gonna help you uncover what some of the things that you can do to accomplish your goal. I can't do it for you. So if losing weight is your goal, how are you going to do that? Sleeping in every day, eating pizza every day, drinking every single day, that's not going to help you reach your goal. So what are you going to do to reach your goal? So for me, the biggest thing is really starting with that one question. What are you looking to accomplish? Whether if it's one session, what are you looking to accomplish today's session, or what are you looking to accomplish over the next 12 sessions? And we just kind of go from there because just to your point, money may not be it, but other people have different concerns. Somebody may be struggling financially, but they're great with everything else. So my question would be, how are you using your money? Where's it going to? But then you have people that are great with money, but then they're struggling somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
So
it's really about what goal are you looking to accomplish?
and do like balance that does that comes up in conversations
Yes.
having
Yes.
because if things is out of balance, it's important.
You're too comfortable at the stage that you're in, how are you going to grow in a level of comfort? You're not. If you're just comfortable being, and I'm just going to use this, if you're just comfortable being fat,
Right.
I'm good with it.
Right.
You go to the doctor, your doctor says, well, you have high blood pressure, you're pre-diabetic, you're this, you're that, you're that, but you're just comfortable. What you going to tell the doc? I'm comfortable.
Right.
And you don't want to lose your life because of your comfortability. You don't want to lose opportunities. I had this conversation with one of my peers. I guess you can call it, she was a mentee. She wanted to apply for a promotion at work, but she said, I'm comfortable. I like where I'm at. I like my manager that I'm working with. 2 weeks later, her manager got transferred somewhere else. So your level of comfort, because you're thinking, oh, I can work with these people forever. What happens when those people have to move on? What
Right.
do you do? You
Right.
got to get out your comfort zone.
So that means like being uncomfortable, it's gonna happen.
Well,
It's gonna happen. It's about how you handle it.
yes, challenge yourself.
Yeah. Like that's where the real magic is at. Everything that you want is in the like doing the uncomfortable.
Yes. And
Like,
that's where, from my experience, whenever I was uncomfortable doing something and I practice, what if that was delivering a speech, presenting something on a call or a WebEx, afterwards I'm just like, I was tripping over nothing.
yeah, it helped you grow.
Yes, absolutely. And I shared with you a little earlier, I was always that person sitting in the back. I was always that person, when I was on, I would keep the camera off. I was always that person.
Right.
But stepping out of my comfort zone really made me feel more comfortable and to be able to really grow.
Right.
I can't be a life coach. I can't be this person if I'm just going to be shy behind a camera. How do if you paid me to be your life coach and I come on, you're on camera and I'm not, you're going to be like, who's this person?
I don't know if you talk about it publicly, like about the book. Did you ever talk about that or
I
not?
did, but I can. It's okay, I can. So my book is on grief And it's not necessarily the different stages of grief. People hear a lot about the different stages, but it's more so the different types of grieving. When people typically hear grief, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, someone passed away. So you're grieving because someone passed away. But there's so many other grievances, I think that's a word, that you can go through. And for me, that is not just like losing my mom, losing my grandfather, but my upbringing, grieving the person who I thought I was, or, grieving the parent when I was younger, the parent that I wish I had. I have an interesting chapter on my brother, grieving the sibling that I lost. I didn't physically lose him. Um, I don't want to say too much, but it's really different elements of what I've been through in my life, and not just really a tell-all, but more so towards the end, the last couple chapters just kind of talks about how I overcame and hoping for the next person to overcome as well. So I have that I'm working with. I got 4 out of 9 chapters completed. When I do come out with that book, I have a grief guided journal as well. And that kind of walks through, it could say, for example, today, how are you feeling right now? Write this down, right? The
Right.
top 3 things. When you think about your childhood, what do you miss the most? Write that down. So, really more so understanding, and everybody has grieved something in life.
Yes.
Something or someone. Everybody has. So I want to be able to raise awareness to that and the different ways you can go through your healing process as well.
Right. Right.
I, I will say this, writing that book so far, it had me realize that there were things in my life that I thought that I was through. I thought that I was healed from it. And reflecting back made me realize, no, I need to talk about this with my therapist. I need to talk about this with my life coach because I thought I was over it and I'm not. And really, if the next person is reading the book or writing in their self-guided journal, they may be thinking the same thing. So it's important to not put stuff on the back burner and just feel like, oh, I'm just living, and that's it.
Trust me. That's why I got you here because I
Thank
know
you.
you have some things that's gonna help people.
Even if that means I touched one person, I want to touch many. But even if that means I touch one, I'd be happy.
Continue to be that light. Appreciate you for taking the time out your day to bring your good energy and talk about some things that you're doing.
Excited for your journey too. I'm excited for what you're going to do as well. There's so many, let me just say this, there's so many black men that need this. What you're doing is it's a true testament to who you are and then also how you can give back to your community. So,
You continue to keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully we could build and talk again.
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I enjoy this. I enjoy this. Thank you. Thank you so much.